Alright, it's Thursday, March the 10th, and what I want to discuss with you people today is, are you ready for disaster? I mean, are you prepared right now? I mean, what if right now there was a catastrophic earthquake and the power went out in your house and you have to, you know, you might not have power for a month or more. Are you prepared? And if you are prepared, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit it out in your house and wait for law enforcement to come and take you away to your FEMA camp? Or are you going to pack up and attempt to survive out in the wilderness? And there's always a third decision. Are you just going to hold down your fort and try and fend off whatever comes? Now, I've been asking myself these questions, and first of all, I don't think I'm prepared for what's coming. I mean, as of right now, I'm nowhere near prepared. I mean, I have a little bit of survival gear and canned food and this and that, but I'm nowhere near ready. So I still have much to be done. And I live alone, so I'm fortunate enough to not have a burden of family or anything else to worry about here. I have my daughter, but she doesn't live with me. So I think what I would have to end up doing is, if it happened right now, I would pack up and attempt to survive in the wilderness. But as I said, if you have a family, you don't have that option. You have a greater burden, so you might just want to elect to stay at home and try and fend off whatever comes your way. Because you're going to need protection. People are going to, it might not just be law enforcement coming. People are going to come and say, hey, I don't have anything. Do you have food? And if you have food, then word's going to get out quick and they're going to come. So, myself, I have adequate protection. I have my blade here. The preferred method of combat, besides hand to hand. And should things get ugly, I've always got this. And this will probably take care of any threat that I really have to worry about. And this holds 7 shells. So I'm ready for combat. And another thing I want to discuss today is how we can get the change we want. To start a movement, to start change, you have to go into it 100%. I mean, you can't hesitate. You have to be motivated for your goal, no matter the cost. And so many, they value their own life. They're not going to march out in the streets because it could change their life. They could go to jail. But if we worked as a collective, without hesitation, we could achieve whatever goals we want. If everybody in this country marched and protested on the same day, at the same time, in every city, the government would be overwhelmed. They'd be at our mercy. I mean, sure, there'd probably be riots, chaos, etc. But there'd be so many of us who have the same collective consciousness. We would have our victory. So, so many are caught up in material things and work and day-to-day life. They don't think outside of the box. I mean, you have those that are asleep and you have those that are awake to what is really happening in this world, in this matrix. And another key to victory, which has proven itself over history, is the traitor. Nobody likes a traitor, but there's no doubt they've proven invaluable over history. Benedict Arnold. It can change the whole tide of a war instantly. It's just like in Star Wars. Right there at the end, Vader turned on the Emperor, and the Emperor was no more. The Emperor had Luke at his mercy. And only Vader could have changed the tide of that war, and he did. And that brings me to the point of know thine enemy. To defeat the elite, to defeat these people, we need to understand them. We need to get close to them, so we know what to expect from them, and we know how to overwhelm them and defeat them for our own purpose of the greater good. Whatever you want to call it, the prime directive, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people's view of the greater good is skewed. But in my view, I want this world to be a place of peace and harmony. Utopian society. No disease, no famine, no hunger, no greed, no jealousy. It's a grand dream. I feel it's still a pretty good ways off, but we're definitely going in the right direction. And we're the only ones that can do it. Humans. This is our planet. We've made it into the mess we have now. Sadly, most of us didn't even realize it. But it's time to make amends for it soon. So, again, in closing, I just want to say, are you people ready for disaster right now? What would you do? Are you prepared? If not, then start getting it into motion. Because with each day that passes, the likelihood is increased that you could be faced with disaster. And remember, like I said before, to think ahead. You make this decision now, how is this going to affect you months, years down the line? You may have to make a quick decision, so make it with clarity and insight. And be safe, everyone. Talk about all these difficult things, and ultimately just try to be happy. Be who you are. Don't let anything get you down. Love you all. Be safe.